Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming out to this afternoon's event here at Kenilworth branch. At the back, can you all hear me? Just give me a wave at the back. All good? Sure. Again, a heartily welcome. Thank you for coming out to the WSB Cape Town Met panel discussion for 2024. What a lovely panel we have here tonight. I don't even think I need to introduce any one of them. They're all legends in the game. But just a couple of announcements. I think tonight is there to engage with each other and to also listen to what the guys have been saying here in front. So if we could maybe just, tone down our conversations a bit and just obviously pay attention to what is being said in front. Also, you've all received some vouchers. Those are for drinks and dinner and later on. And then the last thing is at the back there is the toilets right at the back. Feel free and enjoy the evening with us. And without further ado, the show is yours.
Go ya, baby!
Why is everyone looking at me? Am I supposed to be the one that's going to do most of the talking this evening? Guys, it's good to see all of you. It's been almost a year since I've last been on a race course. As you can see, I'm in a wheelchair, but I'm 90% of the way there to full recovery, and hopefully, in the not too distant future, I will be back in the commentary box. Have you missed me at least? Right, so it's our job, hopefully, to get you as many winners as you need for Saturday. And we'll start off in the first race on Saturday, which is the listed WSB Summer Juvenile Stakes to be run over 1,100 meters. Now, I must say, I'm actually in very good company this evening because my good friend Hit Them Hard Sunshine is powered by Hollywood, and I can now safely say that our other good friend on the other end, Louis Mkotwa, is officially sponsored by Sporting Post. Well done, Louis.
Thanks, everyone.
I'm actually going to ask my good friend and colleague next to me to tell us what he thinks about the first race, because after I've had a look at it, and with the scratching of number one, the dogs are barking as far as I'm hearing, as far as Lion Rampart is concerned.
Sunshines, I just want to say one thing. Later on, we've got
There's
this
so much noise happening.
price boost. We've got this price boost from Hollywood. This is to come later on. You must have a look at this. It's top class, I promise you. Those odds are way better than you'll get anywhere else. So we'll mention that later. Now, the first race on the card, this horse is owned by the Hollywood Syndicate. It's called Lion Rampart. Now, there is the...
Right.
Much better.
Okay, let's try again. So I was saying later on we got these boosted odds, but now the first race on the program, and Mr. Smith, it's a pleasure to have you back, my friend.
Thank you.
We all are in great appreciation. But I want to get back to the first race because if you remember when Lion Rampart, and there's been a ton of money, I mean, let's have a look what's happening now. 1.67, Roman Agent has gone 3.57. Now, Lion Rampart beat Roman Agent. And what happened after that is Roman Agent came out and won well. This is a R1 million horse. But the problem with me is that Lion Rampart, if you watch the first few runs, jumps, patches, seems to be uneasy near the line. So it's a little bit like the Sixth Sense. I can't back horses that see dead people. So for me, I would much rather go with the other one, who is Roman Agent, the 8 on the card in front of Lion Rampart. So I like Roman Agent, Grant van Niekerk for Justin Snaith.
So before I'm going to get to Louis, let me just give you the inside scoop. Every single Hollywood runner on the card, they've given me the comments directly from the trainer. And the comments regarding Lion Rampart is, he's doing very well in the lead up to this race, and the stable feels that he's done everything that they've asked of him. Winning form sponsored jockey Richard Fourie has ridden him at home in the last couple of weeks, and he's very happy with him. He is expecting a big run on Saturday, and he feels the horse has a huge chance. So that's the comments from both the trainer and also the jockey. But our good friend Mr. Kotwa does have a ride, United Nations. What do you think your chances are, Mr. Kotwa, in the first race? You're riding a first-timer.
Ravon, thanks for having me here. Shane, thanks for having me here. Thanks to Hollywood for
Top class, Louis.
inviting me to this panel. Really appreciate it. It's a big honor to be sitting here. As I was saying, sorry about that. Yeah, Ravon, I don't really know much about the first time that I'm riding for Mr. Cotton. But obviously, as we all know, Mr. Cotton himself, you know, he's quite good, the 2-year-old. And he's a well-bred horse. He was quite expensive, 2-year-old, or yearling, I should say, I don't know. But I haven't really heard anything much from the yard itself, so I'll just take it as it comes. And as you know, I wouldn't really want to pinpoint anything with the first timers as well, because you know there's winners and some of them haven't won, but they can still improve and come and beat the winners. So I'll just take it as it comes.
So, can we safely say? So can we safely say that in the first race, having looked at it, it's a boat race between Lion Rampart and Roman Agent. Are you happy to go 2 horses in the first? Mr. Shaw.
There are a few horses that are very nicely related. There's a horse that worries me, and you know what? The thing is, we all know we get trainer comments, but it doesn't really help us. We have to see them go down to the start. It's the old adage, but this horse, Winds of Change, is a half-brother to Safe Passage and Silver Sanctuary. Maybe looking for a little bit more. I like a bit of that, the 17 Winds of Change. It looks like a boat race, but you know the problem is that in recent times we've had these cards where when you go through the betting you think to yourself, you know what, this is easy peasy. We're going to get the lot here and all the favourites are going to arrive. But at the end of the day, we've had some nightmarish results in Cape Town. So I would tread wary in the first few races, to be honest with you, Ravon. I think I would probably, if I had to play a bet, I'd go Lion Rampart, Roman Agent in the trifecta, first, second, first, third, and some horses with those.
Right, so we're on the same page, that we literally can use those 2 horses in the opener. Now as we move on to the second, which is the Cape Racing Sales Golden Slipper, over 1,200 meters. Again, after having looked at this race, it does look like a race in 2. Between number 6, Talk to the Master, and number 19, Handsome Prince, because these 2 have met. Both horses look like they're on the up, and it again looks like a race in 2.
I strongly disagree. You know what, we've all got our opinions. Sometimes we're right, sometimes we're awfully wrong. I don't like this race at all. I think we could see an upset here. The problem with me is that Handsome Prince has had 3 runners out of the form line, 1 third, and then if you look at this other horse, Talk to the Master, they're both out of the same form line. In the bipot, I would play wide, yeah, because my thinking is that there's some well-bred, well-related, expensive horses in race 2. I don't trust Ravon, I don't trust the favourite. I would pick it as the first choice naturally because it's got exposed form, but I wouldn't be surprised if a debutant maybe wins this, or we see many debutants of the 4. I don't trust race 2 at all. I think it's the worst race on the card.
On the subject of debutants, our other esteemed panelist is riding the half-sister to See It Again, a horse called, or half-brother to See It Again, called Lord Byron. Have you managed to get a leg over? I mean, you are in Philippi most of the time. Justin, given the opportunity to get a feel for her?
Yes, Ravon, I actually got the pleasure to sit on a horse the other day. I think it was a Tuesday. It doesn't really matter, but I did get to sit on a horse. Beautiful specimen. If you look at him, you'll see that he's well bred. He's a gimme. as you mentioned, is a half brother to Seed again. One of the best talents we have around now is Gimme. So, listen, it gave me a very good feel at home, but it's still a big baby, still doesn't know what's happening. But in saying that, the feel that it gave me, if it's not too green in the running itself, I think I'll run a very big race. Because, as I said, the feel it gave me a very nice feel. But I mean, you gotta respect other horses in the race. It's just quite interesting for me to see that Grant has picked to ride Handsome Prince when he's retained by Mr. Nick Johnson, and there's 2 first-timers of Mr. Johnson that is not riding for them. So obviously there must have been some agreement. Obviously, Grant thinks a bit of Handsome Prince himself. So, yeah, come back to my horse again. I think he'll run a big race. Obviously, he'll need the experience, or if he doesn't need the experience so much, I think he'll run well.
So you say that people should include him if they're playing trifectas and quartets. He's a must inclusion sort of for the back end.
Listen, if you're somebody that goes on breeding, I definitely think you should include him in. As I said, babies, especially in those big days, babies turn to be green. So, but yeah, I would definitely include him.
Now, before we move on to the next race, to me, having looked at races 1 and 2, this could either be Fourie riding the first 2 or Snaith winning the first 2, because it's a boat race literally between Snaith and Fourie in both cases. So I think everybody must just take that into cognizance, because it's a long afternoon and we need to find as many winners as we possibly can. Moving on to the third race, which is the Derby Trial, the Grade 3 Schweppes Politician Stakes, to be run over 1,800 meters. Now, I do know that Louis doesn't have a ride in this race, but to me, this horse, Green with Envy, has been attracting all the market support from 3-1, is down to 14-10. And it does look like everybody thinks that this horse is past the post. Yes, he is the best handicap horse in the race, but I personally think that there are horses with chances. There are horses sort of at the bottom end of the weights that one cannot ignore, but I do know that Mr. Shaw thinks this to him is a standout bet on the card.
Yeah, you have to really find one for the day and stick with it. And for me, Green with Envy has always been the right horse here. I know he's carrying 60, but I'm not worried about that. I think this horse will revel over this distance of 1,800. There was a time where I had a bet on a horse called Gallic Dream, trained by Eric Sands. I'll never forget that day. Muzi Yeni was aboard. I thought I was home and hosed, and suddenly this horse ranged up on the outside in the Kaya Stable Silk, and that was a horse called Green with Envy. I really think that this is the best on the program. For me, if I was having one bet, I was going to the beach, to Cork Bay, to the harbour, it would be Green with Envy. I think sticks out in the third race, and that'll be my bank in all bets.
Louis, you don't have a ride in the race, and I'm sure you've ridden against most of these horses, and I'm sure you've had a look at all of them. So give us your opinion of what you think could possibly be how this race unfolds.
No, Rivon, I can't disagree with you guys. Green with Envy, his form is exceptional. He's run against the best 3-year-olds in the country. He's run against all. He ran 3 lengths off Montien, which is the older horse. He ran 2 lengths off in a Guineas the other day. I just can't fault him, and I think you guys are 100% correct with him. If anything that beats him, obviously, if anything I can pick, I should say, that could beat him. I'm not going to give Snaith another winner. Besides, no, I'm not going to give Snaith another winner. Listen, Oriental Charm for Brett Crawford. He's got 54 kgs in his back. He won first time out, and then after that, he had 1 or 2 issues. And when they stepped him up in trip, he seemed to enjoy it. I think also, these 3-year-olds are also all improving. I think Oriental Charm will be one of the horses to look out for the race, but I really, really think that you guys are 100% correct. It will be difficult to beat Green with Envy. Even though it's carrying top weight, I think he's proven that he should be carrying top weight.
Well, there you are. What more do you want to know?
There we go. You've heard it. We've got a banker in the opening leg of the place accumulator. So, moving on to the fourth, which is the opening leg of the big carryover pick 6, and I'm sure that many of you are getting your friends together, everyone chipping in, so that you can have a go at part of that 10 million rand predicted pool. So the fourth race is a Cape A Stakes over 1400 meters, and to me this is a very interesting race, and I think I'm going to start with Louis for obvious reasons. He does not have a ride in the race, but he is connected to the Hollywood sponsored Crawford stable, and they've got At My Command, who is top of the boards at 5-2, and then they've also got Pomodora's Jet, who has come in at the bottom end of the weights with 51.5 kilograms. A horse that I certainly think is on the up, and one that I personally think needs to be included. So I'm sure you've been back home, you may have been privileged to assist with prepping them for the race. Can you give us some sort of confidence or some sort of insight as to what we can expect?
I'd love to give you some confidence, Ravon. Well, I'll do my best to give you some confidence. Out of the two, well, Brett's got Zumi as well in the race. Yes, also got Zumi in the race. But out of the three from the yard, I would go with Pomodora's Jet. I mean, he's a 5-year-old. He was off for a whole year. He came back and he hasn't looked back. I mean, he won his second run after a rest. Won again. I know he was promoted, it says on the race card, but I mean, if there was no interference in the race itself, he would have won the race, you know, regardless or not. And I mean, on Saturday, he's I think he's running loose, carrying 51.5 on his back, and half decent draw. At My Command, very good horse. You know, he ran second last time. He's been the bridesmaid his last 2 runs. To Charles, see it again, and Mucho Dinero. But I mean, with that weight against an older horse than him, I think he must really, really run to beat that horse.
Guys, you've heard it. Pomodora's Jet needs to be included. He comes in with a low weight, he's on the up, and he definitely is one of those horses to be considered on the day. And incidentally, he's one of the horses that's been attracting most of the market support. From 14-1, he's down to 8-1. So that's a horse to take into consideration. At My Command is obviously 8 pounds best in as far as the weights is concerned. But I'm going to ask my good friend next to me to give me his synopsis about Kwasi for sure, because that's the type of horse I think, if one takes his runs into account in Cape Town, goes to the front, and he may just be hard to peg back in the closing stages. But before we get Shaheen to give us his insights, can I just ask everybody to just tone it down a bit? We are still having too much noise because people at the back are complaining they cannot hear what we have to say in front. So please, can we just keep it down as much as possible so that everyone can hear what we have to say?
You know, Kwasi for sure has won 4 of 5 over this distance. I think it's a big runner, but I like that confidence. I like what Louis had to say, because when I dissected this race, for what it's worth, I mean, we all know this game tames tigers. I thought it was a 2-horse war between the stable companions. And when I originally looked at the betting, I thought to myself, 14.29, Pomodora's Jet, who's had 3 runs since being rested and gelded, a place and 2 victories, with this weight of 51.5, I thought was a massive runner, Louis. I really like that from the word go. So I would take my chances. I'd go the 2 Crawford horses in race 4. That's basically the way I'm going. If I was playing, look, we've got a pick 6 carryover. We've got an estimate of 10 million. Get your bets on with Hollywoodbets, your exotics. I would obviously throw in the 6, but I wouldn't go further than 3, 4, 6. Anything else you see there maybe, Louis?
No, Shaheen, I wouldn't really add any. Obviously, you know, there's hard knocking in the race. I mean, Captain Fontaine's a good horse. He ran a very good race his last one, but I don't think he's running the same class as At My Command. So I think he'd have to really, like, you know, do much more to beat At My Command. And Kwasi for sure, for me, he's been doing his last few, his form suggests that he's been doing very well over the sprint. So even him carrying 61.5, I think an older horse. I'm really gonna say this again. I think an older horse carrying 51.5. He's just looking like he's getting better and better. So the other horse, Silver Falcon, also it looked like his base is being over the sprints. He won the 14 6 starts ago, but yeah, no, I'm not gonna change my mind about this race.
Right, there we go. So, it looks like if it's all systems go, we'll be able to go short in the opening leg of the Pick 6. Race 5 is the listed Pongras Olympic Dual Stakes to be run over 1,200 meters. There are 2 scratchings in this race. 8 and 11 take no part. We will give Louis an opportunity to tell us about enemy territory that he's riding. Hollywood does have a run in this race, the ultra-consistent Shantastic. And let me give you the comments regarding Shantastic from the Kaname yard. She's holding a form and has produced 2 good efforts since returning from a 20-week break. She's doing exceptionally well in the lead up to this race. Despite her big mass of 61 kgs, she is expected to be involved in the finish. So that is the transparency we received from Hollywood. Having looked at this race myself, and having looked at how the betting has been progressing over the past week, it looks like it's one-way traffic. And when this horse was at 6-1, I thought to myself, that is the biggest steal that I've ever seen in the history of horse racing when the betting first opened on Sunday. Because when I went to go and look at that race again with the traffic problems that Winter Cloud experienced, I mean, how on earth, if Winter Cloud gets a clear run, is she not going to come home full of running to win the Olympic Dual Stakes? That, by the way, is my best bet on the card. Do you agree, Sunshine?
I think Winter Cloud's a massive runner. I liked it last time out. He ran 5th. Broke my heart. I was on with Hollywood, not for the first 5, which they do offer on the race day. But you know what, Sunshines, when you go through a card like this, if we sat here and we gave you favourite after favourite after favourite, it would be incredibly boring. So a race has to come along where you commit to a complete roughie for the day. It's your each-way bet selection, and it can't hurt you at the price. I like one horse here. I'm going to go 2 horses in the exotics, Winter Cloud, but I'll tell you, I like Miss Marguerite and Cavallerina. Now, this horse, if you look at some of the form, appears held, but it's a horse that can run on. She can run on when the race is all over. Pit Stain, how long has Pit Stain been around the Cape? I think that's the joker in the pack, 25-1. Hollywood are offering 3.25 a place the first 4, and I'd have a look what they're offering at the first 5. I like Miss Marguerite and yours, those 2.
Enemy territory is your ride in this race for the stable. Obviously, you'll tell us exactly her well-being and also who you think are your biggest dangers.
Rivon, I think the whole field are dangers in this race. You know, it's a tricky one when it's down the straight, you know. There's not really much complications. You know, you just gotta follow the right horses and hopefully the pace is on. And hopefully the gap opens for you, or you pick the right gaps and you go for it. Enemy territory is doing very well at home. She didn't run so bad last time, but it was a bit disappointing. But I mean, it was the first time going over the 1800, so it could have been a little bit too far for her, but she only ran 4 lengths off. She's versatile in saying that, but I think maybe the 18 was a little bit too far. You know, she's won 1,000, she won a 1,200, 14. You know, she's a decent filly. She's nice. You know, we really thought last time she'd win a big race, but I think with the way she's carrying on the day, I think also she's a massive rush. She's worth including in your quartets, and obviously, yeah, the horse to beat will be their horse. Yeah, Winter Cloud. I mean, you don't understand how difficult it is for jockeys sometimes. I mean, I take my hat off for Aldo to be riding 56.5 because Aldo's quite a big boy. So for him to commit to riding the horse, it just shows you that he thinks the horse will win or the horse has a chance. So yeah, other than that, I mean, those are the first 2, or one of the 2 I'll put in my quartets. Then after that, I think you can have a pick on what you like.
For you on Saturday, just having sort of listened to you, we're sort of halfway through the card. You are in that very fortunate position where you got no pressure. No pressure. Am I right in saying that? No pressure.
Yeah, but you think you got no pressure and then you come back and you must still come and explain why did you run so bad.
Right. Now we get into the nitty-gritty of the day and we're getting into the Grade 1 features of the afternoon. And the first of the Grade 1s is the Whirlpool Cape Flying Championships over 1,000 meters. And on the subject of whirlpools, isn't it great to be betting the first 10 races into those massive Hong Kong pools? That is one opportunity that you guys all have. I, having looked at the 6th race, thought, 2-horse race again. In fact, this is the 3rd time that I'm saying it's a 2-horse race. But the good thing is that one of the two is owned by the Hollywood Syndicate. So let me give you the story regarding Isivunguvungu. So the story regarding Isivunguvungu is, he appears to have progressed nicely since his encouraging first run in the non-black type Winchester Sprint Cup. His fitness levels have improved and he has had a good preparation for this race. Winning form sponsored jockey Richard Fourie rides, and we are hoping to see the combination in the winner's enclosure. That is a nice, strong statement telling us Isivunguvungu is the horse to beat.
I'm going to say one thing, Isivunguvungu.
That's it.
Is that it?
Is that it?
That's it.
That's it, right.
There's nothing more to add. That's
Nothing
it.
more
Done.
to do. Double tick from Shaheen. Louis,
That's a shame.
I must tell you, before I let you speak, first time I've seen him this confident about a horse, but anyway. In fact, Tanya has probably got a video that she can show you. Like a year ago, I was a Sir J fan. And last year, during the Cape season, Sir J was always there or thereabout. And just looking at the form, again, there or thereabout. No pressure, Louis, no pressure. Remember I said no pressure. Do you think you can upset the apple cart, or will you be involved in the finish?
Rivon 100% can upset the apple cart. When Isivunguvungu beat us at Greyville, I think we just gave him the race we gave Richard the race on a silver platter, and he's a jockey. He's an exceptional jockey. I mean, you can't do that. It's a Group 1, and we did that. And you know, when you do something like that, and you realize in a second, like, I shouldn't have done that. But then you had instructions and you had a plan. But then the plan kind of backfired, and he beat it to short head. I mean, Thunderstruck and Sergey, they've been running to form. I mean, if the other one doesn't beat the other one beats the other one. But I'm very, very confident when it comes to my horse, Sergey. I think he's been the bridesmaids for way too long. He's overdue to win a Group 1. He's got it in him. I must say, I'll say Brett's a very good trainer. He's prepped him very well into this race. I think his prep has gone very well. Yeah, I'll give those horses a run for their money. I think it's between the three of us again. I'm not gonna put anything else. I think it's between the three of us. I think if you wanna take your trifectas, take those 3 horses and box it.
Louis, I must tell you, I think everybody here tonight is appreciating the fact that you've joined us, because you've given us some valuable insight thus far as we move on to the next race, which is the second of the Grade 1s. It's the City of Cape Town Majorca Stakes, to be run over 1,600 meters. And to me, this is one of the races of the day. And Hollywood has no less than 3 horses running. In fact, I'm going to leave the best for last. I'm going to start with Happy Chance. And the comments regarding Happy Chance, who will be written by Kabela Matsanyani, is, the stable is very pleased with her. She's had a great preparation heading into this race and is doing very well at home. The daughter of Dynasty is having a peak run and jumps from a good draw of 2. A conditioner is expecting her to run another big race. They've also got Asia Pambile, who runs for the stable of Gareth van Sale and has got Striker Strainham on board. And the comments are, she has shown improvement since her first run in the Grade 2 Cartier Scepter Stakes over 1,200. The daughter of Waterwinter is in a very good space, and she is much fitter heading into this race. It is a competitive field, but the stable feel she will run a big race. And the third of the Hollywood horses in the race is Make It Snappy. Now to me, Make It Snappy is by far the class horse in the race. And that is why I have left her comments for last. And after I've read her comments, I'm going to leave the last word for Louis, because she returns from a lengthy 52-week break, and obviously match fitness is a big question. She is doing nicely at home, and we know that she has the class to be competitive. If not in need of this outing, she is expected to give us a big run. Do you agree, Mr. Mkotwa?
I thought you said you were leaving me for last. Ravon, when I look at this race, before I answer your question, when I look at this race, it's just, this is a very tough race. This is a good field. I might just touch on everything. I hope I'm not taking too much time. I mean, Happy Chance is racing fit. She's done absolutely nothing wrong in the last 2 runs. She was just touched off. I mean, last time she had 59.5. Beach Bomb came and got us on the line with 54. She had absolutely no weight on her back. She had every right to win the race. So Happy Chance, one of my picks in the race. Double Grand Slam. I don't know what happened when she ran Dismal behind Beach Bomb. Maybe something was a must there as well. But I mean, she's a filly with ability. She's shown that she's got ability. So also another nice filly. Give me a shot. Maybe that filly I might just leave you out. But I mean, it was a first run after quite a while. So also you know, she's ran some decent races beyond Princess Kala, Feather Boa in Joburg, Enemy Territory, Red Palace. I feel like, from watching the filly race itself, I think she's a good filly.
Can I stop you quickly on Red Palace? She's massive. She's a big filly for a 3-year-old. Are you going to be in front, or is she going to be in front? That's the question that needs to be answered, because that ultimately will tell us how the race is going to unfold.
We can't really say about the pace at the moment. You know, Double Grand Slam, her last 2 wins, she went to the front and she won, and then every time they gave her a chance, she hasn't showed. So I don't know if maybe they're gonna go back to those same tactics. I don't know. Red Palace, also front running filly, she seems to love it. Last time they gave her a chance, didn't seem to work out. So I don't know what the chances will be. Richard sat very close last time with Princess Kala, you know, and top run. Make It Snappy, beautiful front running filly, you know, good filly. But going to the front after a whole year's race, you know, might be difficult. But I'll see what they tell me. We haven't spoken about the tactics yet. Obviously, you don't want to really change much. You know, you want the filly to run at a pace, and you know, just yeah. Pace-wise, I can't really pinpoint Ravon. Yeah, I mean, this is a strong fielders. I mean, Sarchi in a good race. I mean, she beat Happy Chance. If I'm giving Happy Chance a chance, then I gotta include Sarchi as well. Asiye Pambili, it was the first one over sprint. Maybe the second one might catch her out. Hopefully not. But hopefully for my sake, you know, so I can, you know, be more competitive. I mean, Ravon, this whole field it's a strong field. Beach Bomb, she's a multiple Group 1 winning filly already. I mean, she's got 55. She's got nothing to lose. 100%. I mean, if the pace is on, like, you know, when the pace is on, the pace horses always win the race. So the pace is on, then I think the race is up for grabs.
Okay, there's 2 things that I just want to sort of bring to your attention. Guys, if we can just keep it down. There are people that are wanting to listen to the comments, because ultimately it is our job to, you know, give you the bones, and you can go and put the meat on the bones after we've given you our summations and our thoughts about what could possibly transpire on Saturday. But before I get to you, Shaheen, many of them are renewing rivalry. They're all coming back in trip, having run on Lomra King's Plate Day. Now, that pace that day was very muddled. I think this time around we're going to see a much different story as far as the pace is concerned. In over 1,600 meters, I think we may just see a different result. How do you see it?
I think Princess Kelly, you know what, my own opinion is I think she's a great horse. I think she'll enjoy the 1,600. I think she's a little bit jaded. I actually like Louis to run a place. Red Palace, I think is better at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. I'm going to go with the Beach Bomb. Sunshine's from 6:30. We've got the boosted odds from Hollywood. Don't forget about that. There we are. And you know what? I shoot from the hip. If you're going to have a bet, also remember, if you deposit with Hollywood, you are going to get 15%. Bonus, up to 20 grand deposit, which will be 3 grand. So don't forget about that. Take advantage of that.
Okay, so as you heard, the boosted odds are available. They're available on the entire Met field, but we're going to do the Met last. So we're going to do the 8th next. We're going to skip the 9th. We're going to do the 10th and 11th, and we're going to come back to the 9th. Now, one of the most difficult races I thought on the card is this one, which is the Cape Racing Gold Rush, to be run over 1,600 meters. Money has come in no uncertain terms for the filly from the Tony Peter yard, Bavarian Beauty, and she finds herself top of the boards at 18-10. But I think it's much deeper than just Bavarian Beauty, because I'll give you the comments as far as the two Hollywood horses are concerned. The comment regarding King of Spin is, he won a good race when shedding his maiden tag over 1,400 last time. He steps up to 1,600, which shouldn't be a problem. The son of Canford Cliffs is in good form. He does meet a competitive field, and we are hoping to see him finish in the money. There's also Kupaliwe, who runs for the Hollywood Syndicate. The comments there is, he has bounced back to himself nicely since his long trip to Cape Town last week, Tuesday. He's eating well and he's moving nicely heading into this race. His task will be difficult from a wide draw of 15, but the stable has fitted him with earmuffs to get him to switch off early. We're hoping that everything goes according to plan and to see him produce his best. Now, having looked at this race myself, I honestly think that if you are playing a pick six on the day, the safest way to get through it is to go field. Do you think I'll be wasting my money by doing that, Mr. Shaw? Or can you narrow it down for us?
Sunshine's, I'm going to be straight. I lived in Joburg for 15 years. So I know a lot of guys from Joburg. I think Tony Peter is one of the master trainers South Africa's ever seen. And he will end up being a master trainer. So Bavarian Beauty for me, with a one runner for Tony, he's brought this horse down in all this heat with Pierce Stratum. I think is a massive runner. And then Tail of the Comet. Those two, if I had to find a Shrewdy, a real roughie for maybe a place would be ready to charge from the Mike Adam as a father-son partnership for a minor position. But I'm strongly with the filly Bavarian Beauty. I'd love to see Tony Peter come to Cape Town, take the cheque of 5 million and say good night, nurse, and go back to Joburg.
You're talking about having a Shrewdy in the race. Guess what? I'm going to listen carefully now, because the gentleman on that side is riding my Shrewdy in the race. No pressure, Louis. What can we expect from Infrared?
What is going on with this Infrared? Sunshines, listen to this now.
We need to listen carefully. If everyone can quiet down, listen carefully.
Yeah, you better listen carefully, Shaheen and everybody. Infrared was unlucky last time. He got taken out the last 300. I mean, he's a massive horse. I mean, it's crucial stages. If you're on momentum and you get taken out the last 300, and you must try and get going again, and you get beat carrying top weight, and you get beat a length and 3/4. I mean that's a massive one. The computer form doesn't even justify it. It says stayed on. I mean, that doesn't. How do you run 23? I'm not gonna even speak about times. He was really unlucky last time. I think he's a nice horse. He's an improving horse. He's got a decent draw. For me, this might be bold, but I mean that's the best bet on the day for me. That horse is a big runner on the day.
So that to you is your best ride on the day. We can take some wins and places, and we should be able to stand in the queue.
Yes, 100%. I mean, he won a mile and he's never been to a mile back. He's been running in 14s, unfortunately, because of the program. Didn't suit. I know Bavarian Beauty is a Group 1 winning filly, but I mean, that was a 2-year-old Group 1. I think this horse of mine is an improving sort of horse. Can only get better.
Guys, you've heard it from the horse's mouth. He gives his mount infrared a big each-way shout, and I must say that I agree with him. To me, that is my Shruti on the day. But we'll come back to race 9 as we move swiftly on to race 10. And in race 10, the Hollywood Syndicate does have a runner, and funnily enough, the runner is ridden by Louis Mkotwa for the Mike de Kock yard, and it is Blackthorn. So let me read you the comments as far as Blackthorn is concerned. He showed improvement in his last start over 2,500 meters on Lomra Kings Plate Day. He has come on from that run and will strip much fitter. He was drawn 10. His wide draw of 10 is an obvious concern, but with luck in running, there should be more to come from him in the closing stages. Now, am I right in saying that that race referred to on Lomra Kings Plate Day was run stop start and turned into a sprint in the home straight? So as far as I'm concerned, that form line in all likelihood will not stand up. So if one looks also at the roll of honor of this race, history tells me that this race always throws up a result. We always tend to get an upset winner. Do you think you on board that upset winner, Louis?
Vaughan, I hear you. Blackthorn ran very well last time. He had the right way to run well. He hit the front and he stayed on late because, you know, it was, as you say, it was a sprint. We went very slow when we sprinted. You know, the lightweights obviously won. I think this time with level weights, it just makes it a level playing field with most level weights of the horses. I think the horse to beat for me, just for me, I think it's Aragosta. I think that will be the horse to beat.
Aragosta, incidentally, is the horse that has been attracting money left, right, and centre from 7 to 2 into 15 to 10. Have you got on in between, somewhere between 7 to 2 and 15 to 10, my friend?
I think Aragosta is a massive runner. You know, it's the best weighted horse in the race, all of that. But I like this Daniel Muscat, who's visiting on one-way traffic. There's a change of a jockey. And this horse we've been for, it's disappointed us many, many a time. But I remember one day we were up in KwaZulu-Natal at Hollywoodbets Greyville, and we saw one-way traffic win on that big race. That was a July day
100%.
From the tail end of the field. I think this horse, on his day, it's been a long spell now, 574 days. I'd go one-way traffic, Aragosta. By this stage, we've either done our money or we've hit them hard, because this is now moving on to the late jackpots in the day. I'd go 3 and 11.
So, as we move on to the last race on the program, we're coming back to race 9. I must admit, I have never, for a very, very long time, seen such a strong maiden race in Cape Town. I mean, I've looked at this race over and over and over, and I still can't find the winner. I'm literally, honestly, Louis, wanting to do this, and hopefully the pen falls on the right one. I know you're riding a first-timer, and the Hollywood Syndicate also has a runner in this race called Iguguletu. And the comments about Iguguletu is, he's doing nicely at home, he's in a good place, and he's fit. It is a very competitive field, and there are few horses with good form. The son of Erupt will enjoy the step up to 1200, and he has an each-way chance. So that's a horse that definitely needs to be included. Guys, if I can just ask you to just keep it down a bit, please. We're about to get to the winner of the last race, and don't say we're not going to give you the winner of the Get Out Stakes. And then we're, of course, going to come back to the Met. So if we can just ask everybody just to tone it down. We're coming to the end of the panel discussion. To me, Louis, a wide open race. I know you're on a first timer and you probably would have had a leg over, so you will have some sort of idea of what to expect. But what a strong field to end the day.
No, Rivon, I can't disagree with you. This is a very, very strong maiden plate. This, I mean, Celtic Chief, how can you fault that horse also? I mean, he's just been running just behind them. Now he's coming back on trip. He's running over 1,200 meters. Maybe that trip will suit. We don't know. What's the other horse? Speed Racer. He's been the bridesmaid as well. Now he's been gelded. He seems to be doing well at home. I really haven't sat on him, but he seems like he's doing well. He's improved. I think that's what he needed, the gelding. So I think definitely first four. Speed Racer. I mean, there's plenty of other horses. Peregrine Falcon, very well bred, son of Give Me the Green Light. Ran very good race first time out. I mean, on natural improvement, should be one of the horses to beat as well. Should be right up there. As you mentioned as well, the Hollywood horse, Iguguletu. I mean, he's only one run yet disappointed, but I mean, I don't know what seems to be the issue with him. I mean, every time I looked at the card when he's carded, I always thought, today is the day, and it just hasn't come through. You gotta include him as well. Star Performer, also another horse that you never know when's the day they can win. Riverstone, he's running in work riders, but I mean the second you can't really fault many of those horses. And the first time that I'm riding, very, very well bred horse by Kingsman. Gives a nice feel at home. If not too green, you run a very big race.
So ultimately, you've given us what is about 5 or 6 of them. The best way to try and make money is just to box them in a quartet. Unless you have found us the winner, Sunshine. Help us out in the last.
I like the first horse that Louis spoke about, Celtic Chief. This horse costs 3 million. It's been gelded. It drops in trip. It shows pace. I like that. I like Celtic Chief, but as Ravon says, if you're playing the exotics, I'd also throw in the 17. The US of A came way too late last time out, racing in the Robert Bloomberg Silks. A little bit of the 12, Seeking the Life, is 25 to 1 related to Seeking the One, Seeking the Stars. 1:17.12.9, but it's a swirl, the finale.
So we've left the best for last as we move on to the big one of the afternoon, which is race 9 on the card, the Grade 1 World Sports Betting Cape Town Met, to be run over 2,000 meters. Now, at the moment, the odds-on favorite is See It Again, who is available at 4 to 10. Next on offer is Mucho Dinero. No, Pacaya's next, 7 to 1. With Hollywood, you can get 10 to 1. Mucho Dinero, currently 10 to 1. You can get 14 to 1. Royal Aussie, 12 to 1. You can get 16 to 1. So there is inflated prices about each and every runner in the big race. Coupled with the fact that Hollywood have also come up with some special markets. For example, on the big race, you can back who you think will be the winning trainer. They'll give you odds. What you think the winning distance will be, they'll give you odds. You can even back a horse without See It Again in the betting. How's that for being innovative? And also another special market, who will run second in the race. So those are all things that Hollywoodbets have to offer. I will tell you after we've dissected the race, some other specials that are also on offer. But everywhere I've gone and everyone I've spoken to tells me it is one-way traffic as far as the big one of the afternoon is concerned. We all know that it is on record that Mace Roberts has said this is his horse's main mission. In the race 2, we do have a Hollywood Syndicate horse running, and that is Anfield's Rocket. Now I'm just paging through my notes quickly that I can get to Anfield's Rocket and give you the story. He has had a good preparation heading into the race, and the stable is very happy with him. He jumps from a good draw 4, and we're hoping that he gets away to a clean start. On his best form shown, he is a horse that can make his presence felt. And on that note, the jockey of Anfield's Rocket is with us. So I'm sure you can add 1 or 2 things regarding your ride in the big one.
Revon, listen, I'm also happy with the horse, the way he's doing. I was happy with his last run. If you take away the winner, Charles Dickens, Charles Dickens won by probably like 3 lengths or 2.5 lengths, and I only got beat 5 and 3/4 lengths. So the rest of the field basically beat me 2.5 lengths. So I think I was really happy with that run. It was his first run for us. We didn't really have much time with the horse, but we were really happy. I'm really happy with the way he's doing at home. Half decent draw. Well, it's a good draw. It's a good draw for a horse that does. If you read the comments, is a horse that's always slow out. He's never in a race in the early part of the race. So my main thing to do on the day is to get him in the race in the early stages. It's a Group 1. You can't afford to give start. You're going against top horses. If they're quicking away from you, you're going to be playing catch the whole time. So it just doesn't work like that. So if you can just help me in the early stages, I think it's definitely a horse worth putting in the first 4, because he is a Group 1 horse. There's not many Group 1 horses in the race that have actually won Group 1s. I thought it was cut and dry between Seed Again, and I thought the horse that will run second is Bless My Stars, but now she's scratched. So I think, on paper, we're all just trying to catch Seed Again.
It's a pity that Bless My Stars had to be scratched, because I thought that a horse that will fill one of the minor placings was probably Bless My Stars. See It Again. 2 from 2 over 2,000 meters. The only way that I can put it into perspective, this is See It Again's race to lose. Am I right in saying that?
I think See It Again will win. But it's so interesting to have Louis next to me tonight. Let me tell you a story. When I first looked at the Met field, and this is honest, I turned to my wife, I said to her, you know what, Sunshine, I've got to get on. I've got to get on a complete roughie in this race. I said, my goodness me, if I found a roughie. She said, what's the horse's name? I said to her, its name is not her name, his name is Anfield's Rocket, believe it or not. But then you know what happened? Do you all know Mr. Nino Podesta? Where's Nino Podesta? The great PE tipster, here he is. I said to him, Nino, I like Anfield's Rocket at place, matey. I've got to get on. He said to me, that's got no chance. It won't stay. Save your money. So I've gone right off you, Louis. I've gone for double superlative.
Shaheen, the horses ran over 1,800. How can he not stay?
Well, where's he? There he is.
Hold on.
Nino Podesta.
Let me put this into perspective. That's a man who told me yesterday he's giving up racing, and you're listening to him. No, my friend, you got a bright future.
Okay.
Right. So.
See It Again, double superlative, Anfield's Rocket finish.
I disagree with double superlative.
I'll get to that.
I can't
Your
have
first
that
3.
one.
Hold on, Louis. I'll get to the first 3 in a short while. Now, I first want to know from you boys, and we need to get on. Very important. Between the 3 of us, surely, we can come up with a winning treble. Okay. Surely, we can come up with a winning treble. Right. I will start because I think that, to me, the best horse, or my best bet on the card, is Winter Cloud. What's yours?
Green with Envy. Winter Cloud, Green with Envy, and?
I said Infrared.
Right. Infrared, first 4. Okay,
yes,
so let's go Infrared, first 4, Green with Envy, and Winter Cloud. That treble, by the way, works out to 17-1. Hollywood is offering, because we've given it to you, 25-1 the treble. So don't say we're not giving you an opportunity to get on tonight. 25-1 the treble, Winter Cloud, Green with Envy, Infrared, the first 4. Okay, the boss is giving me some notes here. Gareth Van Sale, Hollywood-sponsored trainer, would like to come up and give us his best for the day.
Where's he? Where's he? Help us.
I love this.
Go, you baby.
I love this.
I lost my glasses yesterday. I can't see a thing.
Thank you, very kind. Thank you, guys. I think I can add a little bit of value to that treble there, 25-1. For free, I think you can double it if you take Riverstone to place. Maybe it'll even more than double, but I don't see Riverstone running out of the places. I don't know if he's 8-1 or thereabouts. Can win, but because I have a lot of respect for the field and it's tough at the moment, it's a strong maiden plate, I think you're safe taking him to place. The rest of the card we're trying, but that's where I think you can make a little bit of money on the day.
Did you know what I've written here? In my card, Riverstone, not without a chance, was not well ridden last time out.
You're very polite, Ravon.
There we go.
Why are you laughing, Louis? I think the jocks saw that one from the jockey room and had a few chuckles of their own. If ever you want to watch a race and pick up on where things went wrong, that was one of them.
Right, so guys, there you got it. Riverstone in the last. Add that into your play. That won't finish out of the first four. I think won't miss the first four. There's 20 horses, so you're going to get very good odds. Thank you, Gareth.
Cheers,
right,
thank you.
guys, now we're getting to the nitty-gritty. We're getting to the nitty-gritty. Before I ask the two gentlemen next to me for their top 3 or 4 selections in the Hollywoodbets, not Hollywoodbets, in the WSB Cape Town Met. There are more Hollywoodbets specials. That's what I wanted to say. Hollywoodbets specials. So, if you think that Drakenstein Stud will have a good day, they're offering a Drakenstein Stud double, Winter Cloud and Beach Bomb, which would have been 8.7 to 1. They're offering you 12.5 to 1. If you think the Hollywood syndicates can have a double, Lion Rampart at Isivunguvungu, that double works out 5.7 to 1. They're offering 7.5 to 1. If you think Kaya Stables will have a double on the day, Green with Envy and At My Command, that double works out to 7.5 to 1. They're offering 10 to 1. And then if you think that Sean Terry will have a treble on the day with Thunderstruck, remember, Thunderstruck broke the course record. Princess Kala, very unlucky because of the pace. And Taylor the Comet, I see, is fitted with compression mask, tongue ties the lot. So they're expecting a big run. That treble would have worked out 27 to 1. Hollywood is offering 36 to 1. And then last, if you want to have a grade 1 favorite treble, Isivunguvungu, Princess Kala and See It Again, that normally works out to 8 to 1. Hollywood is offering 12.5 to 1. I think Hollywood deserves a big round of applause for those innovative bets that they've come up with us this evening. To close proceedings, I'm going to start on my far right. Louis, tell us who will finish 1, 2, 3, 4 in the Cape Town Met on Saturday.
Jeez. Well, obviously, I'll go with Seed again. And I really like how Royal Aussie ran on last time from last. I mean, it was a Group 1. It was a bit of a slow run race, but I mean, he ran a very big race last time, so I'll include him as well. Anfield's Rocket, I'll include. And then it becomes a bit tough for me after that. I mean, Pakaya's later form is, it's been good, but every time I fancied Pakaya where when I thought, okay, this is a race, he will win, it just doesn't come to the party. So I'll go with Musha Dinero. I think Grant has made the right choice.
Shaheen, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the Cape Town Met.
Sunshine, it's got to that time of night. People want to eat and drink. See It Again, double superlative, Royal Aussie, Pakaya. Good night, nurse.
And if you want to know what I think, we'll run 1, 2, 3, 4. Coupled with the fact that everybody's been asking me, when are you making your comeback? I will spoil you this evening. 200 meters left to go, and See It Again has swept into the lead. He's traveling well into the closing stages. Mucho Dinero, Royal Aussie kicking on, but it's all See It Again into the final 100. Mission accomplished. See It Again comes home full of running, and he wins it in style. Mucho Dinero second, Royal Aussie third, Rascallion back in fourth.
Yeah, baby!
Thank you for joining us, folks. Enjoy the evening, and I hope you make lots of money on Saturday on midday.
Thank you, Sunshines.